Hi, this is Amanda for College Basketball Now. All right, do you guys want to talk about the Georgia coaching situation?
Well, as of right now, they have an opening as their coach, Dennis Felton, was fired. And all the speculation seems to be going to Bob Knight returning to the college game and returning to the University of Georgia and to coach for the first time in the SEC Conference. I think it'd be pretty exciting. As we know, he coached in the Big Ten. He's coached in the Big 12. So what's the next step? The SEC. He's going to have great competition for these great athletes. Billy Donovan's obviously won his 2 national championships. He's going to be intrigued. Or he's going to be intrigued to face guys like that, match wits, as they say. Will he take it, though? I mean, that's what we're going to have to wait and see.
Well, if Bobby Knight takes the job, he's taking it kind of as a opportunistic coach, I guess would be the best way of putting that. The SEC is so weak this year. It stinks. Like, it's the worst power conference in a long time, first of all. And second of all, I mean, Georgia's had success in the past. And we saw what he was able to do at Texas Tech. He turned a minnow in that conference. Texas Tech, before Bobby Knight was there, was terrible. And he turned them into a pretty good team. A couple of tournament appearances. They actually made a run into the Sweet 16 once. Georgia's more than capable of doing that. They're able to recruit very well out of that Southeast. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares there.
What I find interesting is that Bobby Knight's a guy who coached at West Point, which is obviously known for its academic integrity. To go to a place like Georgia, where in the past their coaches are known for giving tests to their players, where the questions are, how many halves in a basketball game and how many points on the three-point shot. You're going to be wondering whether or not Bobby Knight's going to like those academic rigors that these students are going to have to face. But at the same time, though, does Georgia want Bobby Knight? Nobody knows for sure. Do they want a guy who was fired from Indiana, unceremoniously? And then a guy who just left Texas Tech, and left him high and dry, so his son could have the job. Those are questions that the Georgia administration needs to answer before they make an inquiry to see whether or not Bobby Knight would actually want the job.
All right, so at this point in the season, do you guys see any teams emerging as the front runner for the national championship?
There's a lot of teams right now. I would say you have to look in the big. I know everybody loves the ACC, the great teams, Wake Forest, North Carolina, Duke. But let's not forget about the Big East. UConn right now is putting Louisville in its place. Louisville's not a bad team. It beat #1 Pittsburgh at home. And Pittsburgh itself is a great team. I mean, as I just said, they were the #1 team at one point. Those are all formidable teams that are going to have to be dealt with. And I didn't even mention Villanova, which is another great team in the top 25. That's a great shot to go far in the tournament. So I know a lot of people want to talk about the ACC, but the Big East has a lot of great teams that have a chance to go far in the tournament.
I think that if you are a college basketball fan right now, the matchup that you are dying to see is Blake Griffin, Tyler Hansbrough, North Carolina, Oklahoma. That is a game that I am drooling to see. If that would be a Final Four or even a national championship game matchup at this point, obviously, because Carolina's ranked third and in one poll, fourth in another. Oklahoma's ranked second in both polls. But just imagine the matchups. Griffin and Hansbrough, not to mention all the players around them. Lawson and Ellington for Carolina. Willie Warren, fantastic freshman, maybe the best freshman in the country for Oklahoma. That's a game that could be a game for the ages. Maybe that Villanova-Georgetown game back in '85 that many people consider be maybe the best college basketball game ever.
All right, well, back to you guys.